Hello. All the clothes that I'm wearing right now were given to me by Jim, either when he was alive or I inherited them from him after he died. He died on August 15th, 1988. And after he died, I had the task of trying to decide what to do with all of his clothes. They were taking up a lot of room in the closet, so I decided to give most of them away, and I kept some that fit. And of the ones that I kept, the ones I'm wearing now have certain memories attached to them. Sort of like different songs on the radio remind you of different times in your life. For example, the shoes. They remind me of this day I came home from rehearsal, and Jim was working on the computer. And he had a smile on his face, and he usually doesn't smile a lot, so I said, "What's up, Jim?" He said, "I have a surprise for you." So he went into the bedroom and pulled out these two boxes. And immediately I knew what they were. They were these pair of Converse. You see, ever since I'd seen the turquoise ones in the window on Mission Street, I'd always wanted a pair, but I couldn't afford it at the time. And Jim knew that I wanted a pair, so the type of guy he was, he didn't just get me one, he got me a red pair as well. And I remember when I came to his shoes in the closet, as I was throwing the clothes away, I had to give all of his shoes away because they were size 8. But these are the ones that he gave me. The socks, they remind me of our dresser drawer. And it had 3 tiers, and on the top we kept our socks. And it was really easy to tell which socks were mine and which socks were his, because mine were all crumpled up, and his were all nice and neatly folded. The other way you could tell mine is that I had all the holy ones because I wore them out in dance rehearsal. And after he died, I threw all the holy ones away. The pants remind me of the time we went to the Gap, and at this point in the relationship, Jim had started to lose weight, and he was starting to feel self-conscious about it. We went to the Gap because we knew they had oversized pants and they were pretty cheap. And when I went to the closet to try these on, I didn't think they would fit because his legs are so much shorter than I. And then I remembered that he used to roll them up a lot. So all I did was roll them down, and sure enough, they fit. And I remember thinking, as I decided to keep them, that Jim never had a chance to wear them out. So that's what I'm doing now. The bicycle shorts remind me of Jim's preoccupation with his body. I would take dance classes and he would lift weights. And this is what I guess they wore when they pumped iron. But he also wore it for another reason, and that was to hide the lesion on the back of his leg, which he was very self-conscious about. And so when I was going through these, I thought, well, I'm not really into wearing bicycle shorts, but maybe I can wear them for something. And that's what I'm doing now. The sweater reminds me of a Sunday. It was the week before Halloween. It was warm, and we had just gone to our favorite Chinese restaurant. And we were walking at the pier at Ghirardelli Square. And after we walked out of the pier, we came back to head towards the motorcycle, and we noticed 4 drunk teenagers. They started calling us names, but we ignored them. We kept going. And the next thing I knew, there was a sharp blow to the back of my head, and I was on the ground. And then 2 of them were on top of Jim, and 1 was holding me down. And before I knew it, before I had a chance to yell or do anything, Jim had a bloody nose and a broken rib. And I remember he was embarrassed to go to work for a week afterwards because he didn't want to explain what had happened. There used to be a lot of blood on the sweater, but it's long since washed out. This shirt was one of Jim's favorites, and it was one of the things he never let me wear. I mean, we share just about everything, except for this. And now I can wear it whenever I want. Jim brought this t-shirt back from Nogales, Mexico. It was 2 months before he died in June. And he went there to get experimental treatment because the US government wasn't working fast enough and they wouldn't let them do it here. So when he got back, he was worse than when he left because the sanitary conditions were so bad that everyone that went there got sick. He was also wearing this t-shirt 2 days before he died. And I came home from the hotel. First thing I noticed when I walked in the door was that one of our parakeets was missing. We had two, a green and a yellow one. So I yelled back to Jim. I said, "Jim, where's the parakeet?" And I heard some scuffling in the bedroom. And I went and looked, and he was on the floor, and they had brought oxygen masks during the day. And he was panting, and he looked like he wasn't there. And he was scuffling on the floor, and he said, "Where's the key? Where's the key? I need the key." And I said, "Jim," I didn't want to listen to him. I said, "Jim, where's the bird?" He said, "Where's the key? I need the key." I said, "Jim, where's the bird?" And he said, half stumbling out of his mouth, that I got caught in the mousetrap. We put mousetrap underneath the bird cage because the mice used to come up and eat the birdseed on top of the cage. And then I said, "Jim, what key are you looking for?" He said, "I can't breathe. I need more air." So I went over to the oxygen tank, and it was on full. And just then, I realized it was time to call his mom. So I waited until he went to sleep, because he didn't want me to call his mom. The next day, we checked Jim into ward number 5. He's hooked up to morphine, and I spent the night with him. And I watched as his lungs slowly filled with fluid and the oxygen slowly left his body. And in the middle of the night, he tried to get out of bed. And I called the nurse, and we both set him down in the chair. And I said, "Jim, where do you want to go?" He couldn't speak. It was as if he wasn't there. But I knew he was, and I said, "Jim, it's okay. You can let go. You've done all you can. I'll be all right." He died at 7:30 the next morning. And for me, the grieving process begins. I start by giving away his clothes. These are the clothes that Jim gave me, and this is the Requiem that I give to Jim. Thank you.